Right. Just want the live to build up a bit, and then we shall officially begin. Right, so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the delayed broadcast of Sports Shop, Episode 4. And as per usual, I say good afternoon to everyone and God's blessings upon your life. This is an Andrew Sport and Entertainment Consultancy production. This is Sports Shop, where we discuss everything and anything sports. So you know what, I feel I may have to officially move this day because this is the second updated show that we had to do on a Monday. So who knows, maybe we'll move the day from Sunday to Monday or a different day of the week. This is episode 4, and we will be discussing some bare knuckle fighting or boxing, and we are going to Canada. Right? So let me see if I can get my guest on. And we shall begin. And we can move forward and do a great show. All right.
What's going on, man?
Yeah, what's up? What's up?
How you doing?
I am fine.
Good,
So,
good.
again, welcome and good afternoon. This is an Andrew Sport and Entertainment Consultancy production, Sports Shop, Episode 4. And we are here with the Wild Boy, all the way
What's going
from
on?
Alberta, Canada, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong.
You got it.
Canada. Apologies about the mix-up in terms of time.
No worries.
I got the time scheduling wrong. I thought we were 3 hours ahead when we actually 2 hours ahead.
It's all good.
Yes, we shall move on. Before we begin, I just want to say thank you for being part of the show, the podcast. I try to widen the scope of the audience in Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean on a whole. Excuse me. And we want to introduce them to as many sporting disciplines, many different athletes from about the world or around the world.
Yeah.
So we will be discussing bare knuckle fighting or bare knuckle boxing. So enough of me speaking. People didn't come to hear my voice. The audience didn't come to hear my voice. They came to hear what is this gentleman here about. So floor is yours. Introduce yourself. And first question is, how we got to start?
What's that? What's the first question?
How did you get your start into bare knuckle fighting?
I started with boxing. I've been boxing for the last 10 years. I have like just under 20 amateur fights. I had my professional debut back in December. I went and fought in Mexico. I got the win. And then BKFC, they hosted a tryout. So you could try out and then if you get on with the tryouts, they'll put you on one of their prospects card, which is what I just fought on. And then the winners of the prospects cards get a BKFC contract. So we hosted the tryouts at my gym here in Edmonton. So I went to that, and then they have a TV show called Tryouts where they go around city to city. They host these tryouts and they pick 3 fighters to feature on their TV show. So they chose me to be one of the fighters on their TV show. I made it from the tryouts onto the actual fight card, and then we just finally had the fight last weekend, and I got
Good.
the first round TKO.
All right, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. I'm from the combat arena itself. I am a martial artist. I am a karate person.
Okay.
So anything that I see with combat, and I've been in it since as a child, so it automatically attracts me. And I am also a sport/combat entertainment promoter.
Okay.
So I am getting I would eventually get into different aspects of combat entertainment promotion. What I would want you to do is to explain persons the difference between um, standardized boxing versus bare knuckle fighting or boxing.
So the pain is a lot different. It definitely hurts a lot more to get hit with bare knuckles. But I don't know. Everything leading up to it seems pretty similar. And then once you get, like, this was my first bare knuckle fight, so I didn't realize how different it was till you're actually in there getting hit with bare knuckles. But like one of the biggest differences with this one I fought on is the ring we fought in was tiny. It was like a phone booth. So, I'm a pretty tall guy. Like I didn't have much room to move around in there. So I wanted to use my technical boxing in the fight, but I kind of just got thrown out the window and it just turned into a fight. So
Uh,
like just
and, and watching it, I think it's designed that way as
yeah.
to really engage the persons, because according to how you were trained, you know, you will automatically verse to that technical ability. Let me see what they have. So
Yeah.
you'll flip, you'll move. No. Get in
Once
there and throw hands.
once you make it off the prospect cards, I mean the ring is like twice the size the one they use in the actual BKFC. So
Mm,
you can actually move around and get away, whereas mine, like, you move one step back and you're on the ropes. So you kind of just have to engage, which is what they want. You're trying to get a contract, right? So they want you to fight. They don't want you to run around and be all technical. So it was a fight. I got a couple cuts.
yeah,
Probably the hardest fight I've been in, but still came out on
yeah,
top.
yeah. Listen to me. I love it. I love it. I stumbled upon, I knew of bare knuckle fighting probably since I was small, but never knew it was so structured and properly well organized. What
Oh
what
yeah.
was what was your takeaway from seeing how BKFC operates?
They're super professional. Like, man, I felt like I was in the UFC fighting for them. Like, just all the stuff leading up, all the publicity, and just the way they did everything. They had the whole fight card live streamed. It was super professional. It was like watching UFC fight card. So I felt like I made it. But yeah, they're super good, man. They took care of us. We got paid decent for like the only my second pro fight. So I'm gonna do it again. They're actually coming back here in August, so I'm gonna fight for them again in August. Maybe if I could get on one of their cards in the States before then, I'd like to. But otherwise, my coach has a promotion here, so I'll probably fight. Just waiting to confirm a date here in, I think, May.
Okay. So outside of BKFC, how is the bare knuckle fighting boxing um circuit in Canada?
Oh, that was the first one.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
first one ever.
Okay, I didn't know that. I what is the difference in from what you have seen? It could be either fighting or just seeing it. What is the difference in fighting in Canada? Have you ever fought in the US before?
No, just Mexico and here. That's it.
Okay, so what is the difference in the terms of the two countries in fighting, whether it be boxing or bare knuckle fighting between Mexico and Canada?
Boxing's big in Mexico. It's really popular. Like, honestly, man, it's hockey here. All anybody cares about here is hockey. So, but like, I got a pretty big following in my city. Like, I know a lot of people. So we had the show sold out. It was packed. Like, we could have filled out a bigger arena than what we were at for sure. But I live in like a blue collar city, so the people hear bare knuckle fighting and they're like, oh yeah, I want to watch that. So it's still like it's pretty popular here, but compared to the states, it's like everything bringing from Canada to the states, everything's bigger in the states, right? And
Yeah,
just so much more people, so they get a lot more traction.
yeah, I know. And that is the difference between being a sport fan and having a sport culture. As you said with hockey, you would for those who are familiar with the sporting diaspora, you would know that hockey in Canada,
It's
my
huge.
gosh, I
Yeah.
thought I thought hockey was big in America until I was having some conversation with some pro wrestlers, and
Yeah.
when they started to talk about hockey, I was like, that Canada is like, you were like, yeah, there's like hockey. It's like, and that is the difference you see in the sport entertainment or combat entertainment initiative. And I must give the states props on that. They understand how to market sport entertainment
Oh
and
yeah,
combat. They
for sure.
understand to T. I want to get in on that to find out how to market that properly. To just know the marketing techniques alone. So do you see how long do you see how to put this? Well, of course we know boxing is a national or a worldwide phenomenon. But do you believe in the next 3 to 5 years, do you see bare knuckle fighting becoming
Oh yeah,
something major in Canada?
it's gonna be huge. It's just so exciting, right? I know there like some people don't like it because there's a lot of blood, but there's a lot of action, man. Like there was so the fights, our fights are 5 rounds. There was 10 fights on the card that I fought in, and not one fight went past the third round. They all
That
were knockouts or stoppages before the end of the third. So like people love that, right? People don't like boxing's popular worldwide, but most people they don't want to go sit there and watch guys dance around for 12 rounds, right? People get bored of that. And then when you have 10 fights and then there's two knockouts, people are like it's boring. It's entertainment, right? People want to see people get hurt. Sadly. That's how it is.
you bring people as much as they may disagree with it. I was watching what it was by um how the heck did I forget this movie? I saw I that a reference was made. It was made in Gladiator with
Yeah,
Russell Crowe. You will give them violence and they will love him for it. And
exactly.
and what Hunger Games. Hunger Games. That's what I was trying to
Yeah,
remember.
yeah,
Hunger
yeah.
Games. That reference was made. And I keep telling people that. I was like, when this shows bringing back this like wrestling I seen on WWE, that's so violent. I was like, listen to me. People love violence. There
They
are
love
very few major people are afraid to admit it because it is so. Even with the likes of with the updated or more modernized versions of boxing, with the bare knuckle fighting, um, even with MMA, you're seeing kickboxing and Muay Thai being
yeah,
more to the
yeah,
forefront because that is more action packed and more because with the boxing and MMA, as you pointed out, you will see more technicality because that's who you are and that's how you train. You know
exactly.
you understand the difference because if you go in wild, it's gonna knock you out like that,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
understand that. Um, Even with karate, I understand that. I wouldn't just rush into a guy and punch or kick me and knock me out. Even with that, you're seeing the karate and changing in a more modernized um, confrontational way. Do you, as a fighter, coming from the grassroots of boxing and knowing proper techniques and putting away a hand, structuring frame a certain way, stepping a certain way, pivoting and stuff like that. Do you believe that two parts? Do you enjoy the more confrontational format of the MMA fighting?
yeah. I loved it. It was exciting, man. Like I got hit with the first punch. The guy flew at me right off the bat. I wasn't really expecting it, and then I was like, "Holy shit! Like here we go. Like this is crazy." Like lots of boxing fights start kind of like just slow, feel each other out. But fuck, that didn't happen here. It was like right at it right away, and it's just so much more exciting. And the crowd, like I've been to lots of professional boxing events and stuff, and I've never seen a crazier crowd than the crowd watching the bare knuckle fights. It was like electrifying, especially being in there.
Um, I'll get to the next question soon. Because when I started to follow it, because I do follow bare knuckle fighting, and I seeing 5 rounds, and first time I'm watching it, I was like 5 rounds, bare knuckles, because the same thing you were saying, it didn't go to five. I was like, being in the comment, I was like, bare knuckles, this not lasting 5 rounds.
No.
And then I see 2 minutes, I was like, wow, this is 2 minutes of just throwing haymakers. Even if it goes the full distance, it's thoroughly exciting.
Oh,
I
oh
must
yeah.
admit, it is thoroughly exciting. Part of me wants to say, man, come out of retirement and start a train, and even if it's just as an amateur, just to say I did it is exciting. Let's move on a bit to the more commercialized side of both boxing, as you can see. Um, in boxing, you are now seeing a lot of former. You're seeing what you're seeing plenty now is a lot of cross genring in terms of that. Seeing the likes of Ngannou fighting both Fury and Joshua, and the likes of the Paul brothers doing what they're doing, and seeing some celebrities who are athletic and training. Do you believe that is something wrong and they are not respecting the art form in some way? Or do you
No.
see that?
Don't get me wrong. I don't like the Paul brothers. I think they're terrible people, but they're bringing a lot. They're bringing a lot of eyes to the sport. So, and like, I'll give him respect where it's due. Like, he's putting in the work. He's dedicating his life to the sport. He's just the one thing I don't like is he tries to talk about winning a world title or doing this, but it's like then you're fighting 58-year-old men. Like, come on, man. Like, do one or the other, but don't sit here and talk like you're gonna fight Canelo, you're gonna win a world title, but then you're fighting retired UFC fighters and retired old boxers. Like, just stay in your lane. What you're doing, sure, whatever. It's making a shitload of money and you're getting lots of viewers. Do it, but quit talking about winning a world title because you're not gonna win a world title. Not
that
doing
that
that
is
shit.
that is where I draw the line. As both a as a businessman in doing it, I do think they are onto something and they're doing it generally good.
Sure.
They, as you pointed out, they pick persons who are not necessarily slouches, but can put on a good show in the ring.
Yeah.
Now, with Mike Tyson, I would say this clearly. I am scared for that young man. I am scared. Because even
Yeah.
when when Tyson was going to fight Roy Jones, in one of Roy Jones' interview, he asked Roy Jones if he was scared, and Roy Jones was like, "Hell yeah, I was scared." No, for me, I am praying he doesn't say anything stupid or tries to go in that ring and embarrass Mike Tyson, and you just get a little glimpse of the old Tyson comes out and hurts this young man. That is what I am scared for him in that department. But as you pointed out, stay in your lane. And that is something important. I believe, like yourself, more me to an extent, but more so you, because you understand what it takes to be at this level.
Yeah.
If you're serious about it, you have to divert to a different path, if per se. So the likes of Ngannou that fought Joshua, do you think some people saying it was fixed?
No.
Some people will say no, it's not fixed. I,
No,
I
I
don't
don't.
believe it. I don't believe it was
I
fixed.
don't either. Just
I
like
believe it.
Tyson Fury touched on it today. Actually, there's an interview about people thinking that Joshua will beat him now, but he said it. He said styles make fights, and he says my style with Anthony Joshua's style, I'll still beat him. Just their styles going together. Tyson Fury or not Tyson, sorry, Joshua and Ngannou just they didn't go well together, and we see how that played out badly for Ngannou.
From Ghana. So,
But I don't think it was fixed.
I don't think it was. I do think, from my perspective as a fighter watching it, you could correct me if I'm wrong. Tyson Fury is a very counter-attacking fighter. He fights a lot off the back foot, meaning he goes back a lot
Yeah,
and then comes forward with his attacks.
exactly.
So and Ngannou is engaging. He comes forward all the time. So it's not that Fury cannot fight off the front foot. His preferred style is going back
Yeah,
and making you come in, and then he attacks you. Joshua doesn't fight that way.
no,
Joshua comes forward at you. So,
yeah.
do you believe that from your expertise in boxing, and we know weight class is a major issue, plays a big difference? Do you feel he was his camp ill prepared him, or he was just overwhelmed by what he experienced?
Who, Fury?
And Ngannou.
Ngannou, yeah, it just shows the levels, man. Like, Joshua's been boxing for how long? Like, they're two completely different sports. Like putting a football player on the soccer field or a soccer player on the football field. Like they're completely different. And then the one thing that annoys me is Nagani's always saying, "Oh yeah, well under your rule set with your special boxing rules, you'll beat me, but I'll beat you anywhere else." But man, they're not trying to come to MMA and fight you. It's you guys that are trying to come to boxing because you make way more money. You never hear a boxer saying, "Oh, I could come MMA and beat you." No boxer's saying that. It's just the MMA fighters saying that to boxers because they want a payday, right?
No, no. And you're correct. You're correct. Um, it's like you coming into my, as you rightfully say, you may be a boxer and coming into my world as a karateka, and then expecting to beat me in a karate fight. You're not going to do it.
Exactly.
You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. I do hope that he continues on this path. He's making a lot of coin.
Oh
I
yeah.
must. He is making a lot of coin. Um, but what advice would you give Engan if he wants to continue on this path of being taken seriously as a boxer?
I think he should just start lower on the totem pole like anyone else. Like my bare knuckle fight last weekend, I wasn't fighting Mike Perry. I fought another guy who has both the same amount of. He has a lot more pro fights than me, but he didn't have any bare knuckle fights either. So I think he should do the same thing. Fight guys who only have a couple pro boxing fights, just like he does, right? Because they're two different sports. So start down the totem pole and work your way up like everyone else does.
Um, I know his age plays into a factor because I know he's almost 40 years of age. Um, would you still advise him to do that?
Yeah.
Start
If you're
looking
making
to.
you're making $20 million a fight, go for it.
I'm saying the same thing. The business in me would always tell you go for the money. No, but I I I don't think he's hurt seriously. Well, your ego as a fighter is going to be hurt. You got knocked out.
Yeah.
Your ego is going. Your pride is going. His pride is on the line. Um, do you, if you are a promoter, what big money fight would you give Ngannou again? Let's say in the next year or 2 years in the heavyweight division. Well, he has fought Fury. He's fought Joshua. Who else would you give him? Well,
Uh,
take into mind he got knocked out in the first round. So now you're thinking, who can he
I'd
last
almost
at least
I'd almost
5 years?
say rematch Tyson Fury because some people arguably think he won that fight.
I don't
I don't think
think he would.
I don't either, but I mean he dropped him, so it was a lot closer than the Anthony Joshua fight was, that's for sure.
Yeah. Again, styles different. Styles different.
But
Um,
if it were me, I want to see boxers fight boxers, and I want to see Ngannou back in MMA. That's where he belongs, right?
I don't think him and Dana White's relationship is repairable. But then again, being
He's
being
with PFL now.
being in business, if he could make a if he can make a serious coin and what whoever MMA other MMA company can make a serious coin, you. But I agree with that. I think he should go back to MMA, do a few
Yeah,
MMA fights, get get it back, get back into the groove, and then come and try it again. You never know. Because
get his confidence back.
despite that knockout, whoever he
Exactly.
fights is going to draw again. That's how it works. Um, Internationally, I am seeing a lot of BKFCs appearing. With that BKFC America, Russia, England, BKFC all over the world and in different countries.
Yeah, they're
Um,
going worldwide.
they are. Do you see that as something you can do holistically, like touring and fighting in these different territories under the BKFC map?
Me personally,
Yeah.
I hope so. That's what I want to do, man. Like, I want to use this to see the world. My coach, he's traveled the world fighting. He's fought in Germany, Russia, UK. He's been everywhere, and that's what I want to do, man. I want to use fighting to just travel around and fight and just live life, you know. So I'll go anywhere. If they messaged me right now and said we got your fight in the UK, I'll be like, all right, let's go.
Man, that's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. So, seeing that the BKFC has granted you this opportunity, how has things changed and evolved for you in terms of your career?
Definitely got me a lot of traction. Like, I'm getting lots of people follow me on Instagram and lots of people hit me up and stuff, and people around the city starting to know me a little more. But I didn't get a contract actually, so they're coming back in August and they want us to fight again and get another win on the prospects before we get a contract. Just because that was only my second professional fight, so they're like, we want to see you fight professional again. So they're gonna come back, and then hopefully after the next one, I'll get that contract. But it's all good. I want to fight for my coach's promotion next, anyways. So I'm allowed to do that now, which is great.
Okay, fair enough. Do you see yourself after it's all said and done? Do you see yourself sticking in the business, or what you have given enough? All right, time to move on to something else. Do you see this as something you can do for the rest of your life? Even if, as I said, we can't fight forever.
Yeah,
We would love to, but we can't fight forever. Do you see yourself sticking in the boxing business or going fully into the bare knuckle fighting business?
I don't know. I haven't thought that hard about the future. I kind of just live in the moment. I have some others, like I have other stuff I do aside from fighting, but I'd like to stay within the fight game, like whether I'm a fighter, promoter, trainer, whatever. I'll always be a part of it. It's part of who I am now, and I love it. But
Okay,
I don't know. I'm just kind of living in the moment, worrying about my fight career right now.
all right, cool. Let's bring it home and get into some rapid fire questions. Um, what is your dream boxing match you would like to do? Who's your dream fighter?
Ah, Caleb Plant, I think. Fight Caleb Plant.
Okay. Who's your dream bare knuckle fighting fighter? Dream fight.
Mike Perry.
Okay. If you had to fight a former boxer, who would it be?
In bare knuckle,
No, standardized boxing.
like a retired boxer.
Yeah, retired or passed on.
Oh, probably Muhammad Ali. But
Greatest.
like, he's way bigger than me though. I'm only a welterweight, so.
That's all right. It's all in love, man. What does the wild boy do for fun?
Honestly, man, I just train. That's all I do. That's my fun. Go to the gym, train with the boys, and then just sometimes I like to go to the hockey games here once in a while with some of my buddies. We have the Edmonton Oilers in the NHL, So I always go. We go to that once in a while, but right now my life just consists of training. Like that's all I care about right now. I just trying to make this thing come to life as much as I can. So I enjoy training. I love being at the gym with the boys, and I love like sparring days when we're all hanging out, beating each other up. So that is my fun.
So, final question: what piece of life advice would you give to someone wishing to enter into the world of bare knuckle fighting?
Just devote your life to it, man. If you want to do something bad enough, you can. Especially bare knuckle fighting, where you could really get hurt in there. Just devote everything to it. That's what I did this last fight camp. Like no screwing around, in bed early, getting 8 hours of sleep every night, training twice a day. Like you just have to put all your effort into it, and you put in the work, you get the results, right?
Exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of Sports Shop, and we were talking with the wild boy out there in Canada. You know, in Sports Shop, we try to diversify as much as possible with people from around the world. Any last piece of anything you'd like to say before we sign off?
I just want to say thanks a lot for having me on the show. I'm trying to get used to. I haven't had as much publicity as I've been getting this past couple weeks, so I'm just trying to get better with this kind of stuff.
No, it takes practice. You will get there. I am sure of it. So I want to thank you very much for being part of of the podcast, and I wish you all the best, guys. This has been an Andrew
Thank
Sport and Entertainment
you.
Consultant position. We were talking bare knuckle fighting with the wild boy out there in Alberta, Canada. Follow us on Facebook, on IG. You can follow the wild boy on IG at Stuvo Boxing, at STUVO Boxing on IG, and you'll stay up to date with him, and you can follow his journey. And subscribe to the YouTube channel at Charismatic Aki. Guys, this has been a great show. I thank you. God bless. Enjoy the rest of the day, Mr. Wildboy.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
No
it.
problem.
Bye.